Numbers chapter 8. The 7 lamps. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
Speak to Aaron and tell him, when you light the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light in front of the lampstand.
Aaron did so. He lit its lamps to light the area in front of the lampstand, as Yahweh commanded Moses. This was the workmanship of the lampstand, beaten work of gold. From its base to its flowers it was beaten work, according to the pattern which Yahweh had shown Moses. So he made the lampstand. Cleansing the Levites. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
Take the Levites from among the children of Israel and cleanse them. You shall do this to them, to cleanse them. Sprinkle the water of cleansing on them. Let them shave their whole bodies with a razor, and let them wash their clothes and cleanse themselves. Then let them take a young bull and its meal offering, fine flour mixed with oil, and another young bull you shall take for a sin offering. You shall present the Levites before the tent of meeting. You shall assemble the whole congregation of the children of Israel. You shall present the Levites before Yahweh. The children of Israel shall lay their hands on the Levites, and Aaron shall offer the Levites before Yahweh for a wave offering on the behalf of the children of Israel, that it may be theirs to do the service of Yahweh. The Levites shall lay their hands on the heads of the bulls, and you shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering to Yahweh, to make atonement for the Levites. You shall set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and offer them as a wave offering to Yahweh. Thus you shall separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. After that, the Levites shall go in to do the service of the tent of meeting, and you shall cleanse them, and offer them as a wave offering. For they are wholly given to me from among the children of Israel, instead of all who open the womb, even the firstborn of all the children of Israel. I have taken them to me. For all the firstborn among the children of Israel are mine, both man and animal. On the day that I struck all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself. I have taken the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel. I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tent of meeting, and to make atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel, when the children of Israel come near to the sanctuary.
Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did so to the Levites, according to all that Yahweh commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so the children of Israel did to them. The Levites purified themselves from sin, and they washed their clothes. And Aaron offered them for a wave offering before Yahweh. And Aaron made atonement for them, to cleanse them. After that, the Levites went in to do their service in the tent of meeting before Aaron and before his sons. As Yahweh had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so they did to them. Retirement for Levites. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
This is that which belongs to the Levites. From 25 years old and upward, they shall go in to wait on the service in the work of the tent of meeting. And from the age of 50 years they shall cease waiting on the work, and shall serve no more, but shall minister with their brothers in the tent of meeting, to perform the duty, and shall do no service. You shall do thus to the Levites concerning their duties.
Numbers chapter 9. The second Passover. Yahweh spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying,
Moreover, let the children of Israel keep the Passover in its appointed season. On the 14th day of this month, at evening, you shall keep it in its appointed season, according to all its statutes, and according to all its ordinances, you shall keep it.
Moses spoke to the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover. They kept the Passover in the first month, on the 14th day of the month, at evening, in the wilderness of Sinai. According to all that Yahweh commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did. There were certain men who were unclean because of the dead body of a man, so that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day. Those men said to him, We are unclean because of the dead body of a man. Why are we kept back, that we may not offer the offering of Yahweh in its appointed season among the children of Israel? Moses answered them, Wait, that I may hear what Yahweh will command concerning you. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
Say to the children of Israel, If any man of you or of your generations is unclean by reason of a dead body, or is on a journey far away, he shall still keep the Passover to Yahweh. In the second month, on the 14th day at evening, they shall keep it. They shall eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break a bone of it. According to all the statute of the Passover, they shall keep it. But the man who is clean, and is not on a journey, and fails to keep the Passover, that soul shall be cut off from his people, because he didn't offer the offering of Yahweh in its appointed season. That man shall bear his sin. If a foreigner lives among you, and desires to keep the Passover to Yahweh, according to the statute of the Passover, and according to its ordinance, so shall he do. You shall have one statute, both for the foreigner and for him who is born in the land.
The cloud above the tabernacle. On the day that the tabernacle was raised up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, even the tent of the testimony. And at evening it was over the tabernacle as it were the appearance of fire until morning. So it was continually. The cloud covered it, and the appearance of fire by night. Whenever the cloud was taken up from over the tent, then after that the children of Israel traveled. And in the place where the cloud remained, there the children of Israel encamped. At the commandment of Yahweh, the children of Israel traveled, and at the commandment of Yahweh they encamped. As long as the cloud remained on the tabernacle, they remained encamped. When the cloud stayed on the tabernacle many days, then the children of Israel kept Yahweh's command and didn't travel. Sometimes the cloud was a few days on the tabernacle. Then, according to the commandment of Yahweh, they remained encamped. And, according to the commandment of Yahweh, they traveled. Sometimes the cloud was from evening until morning, and when the cloud was taken up in the morning, they traveled. Or by day and by night, when the cloud was taken up, they traveled. Whether it was 2 days, or a month, or a year, that the cloud stayed on the tabernacle, remaining on it, the children of Israel remained encamped and didn't travel. But when it was taken up, they traveled. At the commandment of Yahweh they encamped, and at the commandment of Yahweh they traveled. They kept Yahweh's command, at the commandment of Yahweh by Moses. Numbers Chapter 10. The 2 silver trumpets. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
Make 2 trumpets of silver. You shall make them of beaten work. You shall use them for the calling of the congregation, and for the journeying of the camps. When they blow them, all the congregation shall gather themselves to you at the door of the tent of meeting. If they blow just one, then the princes, the heads of the thousands of Israel, shall gather themselves to you. When you blow an alarm, the camps that lie on the east side shall go forward. When you blow an alarm the second time, the camps that lie on the south side shall go forward. They shall blow an alarm for their journeys. But when the assembly is to be gathered together, you shall blow, but you shall not sound an alarm. The sons of Aaron, the priests, shall blow the trumpets. This shall be to you for a statute forever throughout your generations. When you go to war in your land against the adversary who oppresses you, then you shall sound an alarm with the trumpets. Then you will be remembered before Yahweh your God, and you will be saved from your enemies. Also in the day of your gladness, and in your set feasts, and in the beginnings of your months, you shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, and they shall be to you for a memorial before your God. I am Yahweh your God.
Moving from Sinai to Paran. It happened in the 2nd year, in the 2nd month, on the 20th day of the month, that the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle of the testimony. The children of Israel went forward according to their journeys out of the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud stayed in the wilderness of Paran. They first went forward according to the commandments of Yahweh by Moses. First, the standard of the camp of the children of Judah went forward according to their armies. Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, was over his army. Nethanel, the son of Zuar, was over the army of the tribe of the children of Issachar. Eliab, the son of Helon, was over the army of the tribe of the children of Zebulun. The tabernacle was taken down, and the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari, who bore the tabernacle, went forward. The standard of the camp of Reuben went forward according to their armies. Elizur, the son of Shedeur, was over his army. Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai, was over the army of the tribe of the children of Simeon. Eliasaph, the son of Deuel, was over the army of the tribe of the children of Gad. The Kohathites set forward, bearing the sanctuary. The others set up the tabernacle before they arrived. The standard of the camp of the children of Ephraim set forward according to their armies. Elishama, the son of Ammihud, was over his army. Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur, was over the army of the tribe of the children of Manasseh. Abidan, the son of Gideoni, was over the army of the tribe of the children of Benjamin. The standard of the camp of the children of Dan, which was the rear guard of all the camps, set forward according to their armies. Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai, was over his army. Pagiel, the son of Ochran, was over the army of the tribe of the children of Asher. Ahira, the son of Enan, was over the army of the tribe of the children of Naphtali. Thus were the travels of the children of Israel, according to their armies. And they went forward. Moses said to Hobab, the son of Reuel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, "We are journeying to the place of which Yahweh said, 'I will give it to you.' Come with us, and we will treat you well. For Yahweh has spoken good concerning Israel." He said to him, "I will not go, but I will depart to my own land and to my relatives." He said, "Don't leave us, please, because you know how we are to encamp in the wilderness, and you can be our eyes. It shall be, if you go with us, yes, it shall be that whatever good Yahweh does to us, we will do the same to you." They set forward from the mount of Yahweh 3 days' journey. The ark of the covenant of Yahweh went before them 3 days' journey, to seek out a resting place for them. The cloud of Yahweh was over them by day, when they set forward from the camp. It happened, when the ark went forward, that Moses said, "Rise up, Yahweh, and let your enemies be scattered. Let those who hate you flee before you." When it rested, he said, "Return, Yahweh, to the 10,000s of the thousands of Israel." Numbers chapter 11. The people complain. The people were complaining in the ears of Yahweh. When Yahweh heard it, his anger was kindled, and Yahweh's fire burnt among them, and consumed some of the outskirts of the camp. The people cried to Moses, and Moses prayed to Yahweh, and the fire abated. The name of that place was called Taberah, because Yahweh's fire burnt among them. The mixed multitude that was among them lusted exceedingly, and the children of Israel also wept again, and said, "Who will give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we ate in Egypt for nothing, the cucumbers, and the melons, and the leeks, and the onions, and the garlic. But now we have lost our appetite. There is nothing at all except this manna to look at." The manna was like coriander seed, and its appearance like the appearance of bdellium. The people went around, gathered it, and ground it in mills, or beat it in mortars, and boiled it in pots, and made cakes of it. Its taste was like the taste of fresh oil. When the dew fell on the camp in the night, the manna fell on it. The complaint of Moses. Moses heard the people weeping throughout their families, every man at the door of his tent, and the anger of Yahweh was kindled greatly, and Moses was displeased. Moses said to Yahweh, "Why have you treated your servant so badly? Why haven't I found favor in your sight, that you lay the burden of all this people on me? Have I conceived all this people? Have I brought them forth, that you should tell me, 'Carry them in your bosom, as a nurse carries a nursing infant, to the land which you swore to their fathers?' Where could I get meat to give to all this people? For they weep to me, saying, 'Give us meat, that we may eat.' I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me. If you treat me this way, please kill me right now. if I have found favor in your sight, and don't let me see my wretchedness." 70 elders to help Moses. Yahweh said to Moses,
"Gather to me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them to the tent of meeting, that they may stand there with you. I will come down and talk with you there. I will take of the Spirit which is on you, and will put it on them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with you, that you not bear it yourself alone."
The people receive meat for a month.
Say to the people, "Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and you will eat flesh. For you have wept in the ears of Yahweh, saying, Who will give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore Yahweh will give you flesh, and you will eat. You will not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but a whole month, until it come out at your nostrils, and it is loathsome to you, because that you have rejected Yahweh who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, Why did we come out of Egypt?"
Moses' faith staggered. Moses said, "The people among whom I am are 600,000 men on foot, and you have said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month. Shall flocks and herds be slaughtered for them, to be sufficient for them? Shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them, to be sufficient for them?" Yahweh said to Moses,
"Has Yahweh's hand grown short? Now you will see whether my word will happen to you or not."
Moses went out and told the people the words of Yahweh. And he gathered 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them around the tent. Yahweh came down in the cloud, and spoke to him, and took of the Spirit that was on him, and put it on the 70 elders. And it happened that when the Spirit rested on them, they prophesied, but they did so no more. But 2 men remained in the camp. The name of one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad. And the Spirit rested on them. And they were of those who were written, but had not gone out to the tent. And they prophesied in the camp. A young man ran and told Moses, and said, "Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp." Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his chosen men, answered, "My lord Moses, forbid them." Moses said to him, "Are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all Yahweh's people were prophets, that Yahweh would put his Spirit on them." Moses went into the camp, he and the elders of Israel. The quail and the plague. A wind from Yahweh went out and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, about a day's journey on this side, and a day's journey on the other side, around the camp, and about 2 cubits above the surface of the earth. The people rose up all that day, and all the night, and all the next day, and gathered the quails. He who gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves around the camp, while the flesh was yet between their teeth, before it was chewed. The anger of Yahweh was kindled against the people, and Yahweh struck the people with a very great plague. The name of that place was called Kibroth-Hattaavah, because there they buried the people who lusted. From Kibroth-Hattaavah the people traveled to Hazeroth, and they stayed at Hazeroth. Numbers. Chapter 12. The murmuring of Miriam and Aaron. Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Cushite woman whom he had married, for he had married a Cushite woman. They said, "Has Yahweh indeed spoken only with Moses? Hasn't he spoken also with us?" And Yahweh heard it. Now the man Moses was very humble, above all the men who were on the surface of the earth. Yahweh spoke suddenly to Moses, to Aaron, and to Miriam.
"You three come out to the tent of meeting."
The three of them came out. Yahweh came down in a pillar of cloud and stood at the door of the tent, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forward. He said,
"Hear now my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known to him in a vision. I will speak with him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so. He is faithful in all my house. With him I will speak mouth to mouth, even plainly, and not in riddles. And he shall see Yahweh's form. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant, against Moses?"
The anger of Yahweh was kindled against them, and he departed. The cloud departed from over the tent, and behold, Miriam was leprous, as white as snow. Aaron looked at Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. Aaron said to Moses, "O my Lord, please don't count this sin against us, in which we have done foolishly, and in which we have sinned. Let her not, I pray, be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he comes out of his mother's womb." Moses cried to Yahweh, saying, "Heal her, God, I beg you." Yahweh said to Moses,
"If her father had but spit in her face, shouldn't she be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut up outside of the camp 7 days, and after that she shall be brought in again."
Miriam was shut up outside of the camp 7 days, and the people didn't travel until Miriam was brought in again. Afterward, the people traveled from Hazeroth and encamped in the wilderness of Paran. Numbers Chapter 13. Spies sent to Canaan. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
"Send men, that they may spy out the land of Canaan, which I give to the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers you shall send a man, every one a prince among them."
Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran, according to the commandment of Yahweh. All of them men who were heads of the children of Israel. These were their names. Of the tribe of Reuben, Shammua, the son of Zaccur. Of the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, the son of Hori. Of the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. Of the tribe of Issachar, Igal, the son of Joseph. Of the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea, the son of Nun. Of the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, the son of Raphu. Of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, the son of Sodai. Of the tribe of Joseph, namely, of the tribe of Manasseh, Gadai, the son of Susai. Of the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gemalli. Of the tribe of Asher, Sethur, the son of Michael. Of the tribe of Naphtali, Nabai, the son of Vophsi. Of the tribe of Gad, Guel. the son of Machai. These are the names of the men who Moses sent to spy out the land. Moses called Hoshea, the son of Nun, Joshua. Instructions to the spies. Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said to them, "Go up this way by the south, and go up into the hill country, and see the land, what it is, and the people who dwell therein, whether they are strong or weak, whether they are few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it is good or bad, and what cities they are that they dwell in, whether in camps or in strongholds, and what the land is, whether it is fat or lean, whether there is wood therein or not. Be courageous and bring of the fruit of the land." Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. The spies explore Canaan. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Zin to Rehob, to the entrance of Hamath. They went up by the south and came to Hebron. And Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, the children of Anak, were there. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. They came to the valley of Eshcol, and cut down from there a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bore it on a staff between two. They brought also of the pomegranates and of the figs. That place was called the Valley of Eshcol, because of the cluster which the children of Israel cut down from there. The reports of the spies. They returned from spying out the land at the end of 40 days. They went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel, to the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back word to them and to all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. They told him and said, "We came to the land where you sent us, and surely it flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. However, the people who dwell in the land are strong, and the cities are fortified and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. Amalek dwells in the land of the south, and the Hittite, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite dwell in the hill country. And the Canaanite dwells by the sea, and along by the side of the Jordan." Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it." But the men who went up with him said, "We aren't able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we." They brought up an evil report of the land which they had spied out to the children of Israel, saying, "The land through which we have gone to spy it out is a land that eats up its inhabitants, and all the people who we saw in it are men of great stature. There we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who come of the Nephilim, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight." Numbers Chapter 14. The people rebel. All the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. All the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said to them, "Would that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would that we had died in this wilderness. Why does Yahweh bring us to this land to fall by the sword? Our wives and our little ones will be a prey. Wouldn't it be better for us to return into Egypt?" They said one to another, "Let us make a captain, and let us return into Egypt." Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. Joshua the son of Nun, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, who were of those who spied out the land, tore their clothes. And they spoke to all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, "The land which we passed through to spy it out is an exceeding good land. If Yahweh delights in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which flows with milk and honey. Only don't rebel against Yahweh, neither fear the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their defense is removed from over them, and Yahweh is with us. Don't fear them." But all the congregation threatened to stone them with stones. The glory of Yahweh appeared in the tent of meeting to all the children of Israel. Yahweh said to Moses,
"How long will this people despise me? And how long will they not believe in me? For all the signs which I have worked among them, I will strike them with the pestilence, and disinherit them, and will make of you a nation greater and mightier than they."
Moses intercedes for the people. Moses said to Yahweh, "Then the Egyptians will hear it, for you brought up this people in your might from among them, and they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land. They have heard that you, Yahweh, are in the midst of this people. For you, Yahweh, are seen face to face, and your cloud stands over them, and you go before them in a pillar of cloud by day, and in a pillar of fire by night. Now, if you killed this people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of you will speak, saying, 'Because Yahweh was not able to bring this people into the land which he swore to them, therefore he has slain them in the wilderness.' Now, please, let the power of the Lord be great, according as you have spoken, saying, 'Yahweh is slow to anger and abundant in loving kindness, forgiving iniquity and disobedience, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children, on the third and on the fourth generation. Please pardon the iniquity of this people, according to the greatness of your loving kindness, and according as you have forgiven this people from Egypt even until now." God's forgiveness and judgment. Yahweh said,
"I have pardoned according to your word. But in very deed, as I live, and as all the earth shall be filled with the glory of Yahweh, because all those men who have seen my glory and my signs, which I worked in Egypt and in the wilderness, yet have tempted me these 10 times, and have not listened to my voice. Surely they shall not see the land which I swore to their fathers, neither shall any of those who despised me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and has followed me fully, him will I bring into the land into which he went, and his seed shall possess it. Now the Amalekite and the Canaanite dwell in the valley. Tomorrow turn and go into the wilderness by the way to the Red Sea."
Yahweh spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying,
"How long shall I bear with this evil congregation that murmur against me? I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. Tell them, as I live, says Yahweh, surely as you have spoken in my ears, so will I do to you. Your dead bodies shall fall in this wilderness, and all who were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward, who have murmured against me. Surely you shall not come into the land, concerning which I swore that I would make you dwell therein, except Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. But your little ones, that you said should be a prey, them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which you have rejected. But as for you, your dead bodies shall fall in this wilderness. Your children shall be wanderers in the wilderness 40 years, and shall bear your prostitution, until your dead bodies be consumed in the wilderness, after the number of the days in which you spied out the land, even 40 days. For every day, a year, you will bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and you will know my alienation. I, Yahweh, have spoken. Surely this will I do to all this evil congregation, who are gathered together against me. In this wilderness they shall be consumed, and there they shall die.
The plague on the 10 spies. The men whom Moses sent to spy out the land, who returned, and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up an evil report against the land, even those men who did bring up an evil report of the land, died by the plague before Yahweh. But Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, remained alive of those men who went to spy out the land. Moses told these words to all the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. Defeat by Amalekites and Canaanites. They rose up early in the morning and went up to the top of the mountain, saying, Behold, we are here, and will go up to the place which Yahweh has promised, for we have sinned. Moses said, Why now do you disobey the commandment of Yahweh, since it shall not prosper? Don't go up, for Yahweh isn't among you, that you not be struck down before your enemies. For there the Amalekite and the Canaanite are before you, and you shall fall by the sword, because you are turned back from following Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh will not be with you. But they presumed to go up to the top of the mountain. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of Yahweh and Moses didn't depart out of the camp. Then the Amalekite came down, and the Canaanite who lived in that mountain, and struck them and beat them down, even to Hormah. Numbers chapter 15. Laws about sacrifices. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
Speak to the children of Israel, and tell them, When you have come into the land of your habitations, which I give to you, and will make an offering by fire to Yahweh, a burnt offering or a sacrifice, to accomplish a vow, or as a free-will offering, or in your set feasts, to make a pleasant aroma to Yahweh, of the herd or of the flock, then he who offers his offering shall offer to Yahweh a meal offering of a 10th part of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with the 4th part of a hin of oil, and wine for the drink offering. The 4th part of a hin you shall prepare with the burnt offering, or for the sacrifice, for each lamb, or for a ram. You shall prepare for a meal offering 2 10th parts of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with the third part of a hin of oil. And for the drink offering, you shall offer the third part of a hin of wine, of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. When you prepare a bull for a burnt offering, or for a sacrifice, to accomplish a vow, or for peace offerings to Yahweh, then shall he offer with the bull a meal offering of 3/10 parts of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with half a hin of oil. And you shall offer for the drink offering half a hin of wine, for an offering made by fire, of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. Thus shall it be done for each bull, or for each ram, or for each of the male lambs, or of the young goats, according to the number that you shall prepare. So you shall do to everyone according to their number. All who are native born shall do these things in this way, in offering an offering made by fire of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. If a stranger lives as a foreigner with you, or whoever may be among you throughout your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire, of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh, as you do, so he shall do. For the assembly there shall be one statute for you, and for the stranger who lives as a foreigner with you, a statute forever throughout your generations. As you are, so shall the foreigner be before Yahweh. One law and one ordinance shall be for you and for the stranger who lives as a foreigner with you.
Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
Speak to the children of Israel, and tell them, when you come into the land where I bring you, then it shall be that when you eat of the bread of the land, you shall offer up a wave offering to Yahweh. Of the first of your dough you shall offer up a cake for a wave offering, as the wave offering of the threshing floor, so you shall heave it. Of the first of your dough you shall give to Yahweh a wave offering throughout your generations.
Offerings for unintentional sins.
When you shall err, and not observe all these commandments which Yahweh has spoken to Moses, even all that Yahweh has commanded you by Moses, from the day that Yahweh gave commandment, and onward throughout your generations, then it shall be, if it be done unwittingly, without the knowledge of the congregation, that all the congregation shall offer one young bull for a burnt offering, for a pleasant aroma to Yahweh, with the meal offering of it, and the drink offering of it, according to the ordinance, and one male goat for a sin offering. The priest shall make atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel, and they shall be forgiven, for it was an error, and they have brought their offering, an offering made by fire to Yahweh, and their sin offering before Yahweh for their error. And all the congregation of the children of Israel shall be forgiven, and the stranger who lives as a foreigner among them. For in respect of all the people it was done unwittingly. If one person sins unwittingly, then he shall offer a female goat 1 year old for a sin offering. The priest shall make atonement for the soul who errs, when he sins unwittingly, before Yahweh, to make atonement for him, and he shall be forgiven. You shall have one law for him who does anything unwittingly, for him who is native born among the children of Israel, and for the stranger who lives as a foreigner among them. But the soul who does anything with a high hand, whether he is native born or a foreigner, the same blasphemes Yahweh, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he has despised the word of Yahweh, and has broken his commandment. That soul shall utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be on him.
A Sabbath breaker stoned. While the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. Those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses and Aaron, and to all the congregation. They put him in custody, because it had not been declared what should be done to him. Yahweh said to Moses,
The man shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones outside of the camp.
All the congregation brought him outside of the camp, and stoned him to death with stones, as Yahweh commanded Moses. The Law of Tassels. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
Speak to the children of Israel, and tell them that they should make themselves fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put on the fringe of each border a cord of blue. And it shall be to you for a fringe, that you may look on it, and remember all the commandments of Yahweh, and do them, and that you not follow after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you used to play the prostitute, that you may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy to your God. I am Yahweh your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. I am Yahweh your God.
Numbers chapter 16. Korah's rebellion. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, with Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses, with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the congregation, called to the assembly, men of renown, and they assembled themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said to them, You take too much on yourself, since all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and Yahweh is among them. Why then lift yourselves up above the assembly of Yahweh? When Moses heard it, he fell on his face, and he spoke to Korah and to all his company, saying, In the morning Yahweh will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near to him. Even him whom he shall choose, he will cause to come near to him. Do this, take censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire in them, and put incense on them before Yahweh tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom Yahweh chooses, he shall be holy. You have gone too far, you sons of Levi. Moses said to Korah, Hear now, you sons of Levi, is it a small thing to you that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of Yahweh, and to stand before the congregation to minister to them, and that he has brought you near, and all your brothers, the sons of Levi, with you? And do you seek the priesthood also? Therefore, You and all your company are gathered together against Yahweh. And Aaron, what is he that you murmur against him?" Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and they said, "We won't come up. Is it a small thing that you have brought us up out of a land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness? But you must also make yourself a prince over us? Moreover, you haven't brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey, nor given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will you put out the eyes of these men? We won't come up." Moses was very angry and said to Yahweh, "Don't respect their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, neither have I hurt one of them." Moses said to Korah, "You and all your company go before Yahweh, you and they, and Aaron, tomorrow, and each man take his censer and put incense on them, and each man bring before Yahweh his censer, 250 censers, you also, and Aaron, each his censer." They each took his censer and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood at the door of the tent of meeting with Moses and Aaron. Korah assembled all the congregation against them to the door of the tent of meeting, and the glory of Yahweh appeared to all the congregation. Yahweh spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying,
"Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment."
They fell on their faces and said, "God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and will you be angry with all the congregation?" Moses separates the people. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
"Speak to the congregation, saying, Get away from around the tent of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram."
Moses rose up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. He spoke to the congregation, saying, "Depart, please, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed in all their sins." So they went away from the tent of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little ones. Moses said, "Hereby you shall know that Yahweh has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yahweh hasn't sent me. But if Yahweh make a new thing, and the ground open its mouth and swallow them up, with all that appertain to them, and they go down alive into Sheol, then you shall understand that these men have despised Yahweh." The earth swallows up Korah. It happened, as he made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground split apart that was under them, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, and all the men who appertained to Korah, and all their goods. So they and all that appertained to them went down alive into Sheol, and the earth closed on them, and they perished from among the assembly. All Israel that were around them fled at the cry of them, for they said, "Lest the earth swallow us up." Fire came forth from Yahweh and devoured the 250 men who offered the incense. The censers reserved for holy use. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
"Speak to Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter the fire yonder, for they are holy, even the censers of these sinners against their own lives, and let them be made beaten plates for a covering of the altar. For they offered them before Yahweh, therefore they are holy, and they shall be a sign to the children of Israel.
Eleazar the priest took the bronze censers, which those who were burnt had offered, and they beat them out for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial to the children of Israel, to the end that no stranger who isn't of the seed of Aaron comes near to burn incense before Yahweh, that he not be as Korah and as his company, as Yahweh spoke to him by Moses. Murmuring and plague. But on the next day, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, "You have killed Yahweh's people." It happened when the congregation was assembled against Moses and against Aaron that they looked toward the tent of meeting, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of Yahweh appeared. Moses and Aaron came to the front of the tent of meeting. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
"Get away from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment."
They fell on their faces. Moses said to Aaron, "Take your censer and put fire from off the altar in it, and lay incense on it, and carry it quickly to the congregation, and make atonement for them, for wrath has gone out from Yahweh. The plague has begun." Aaron did as Moses said, and ran into the midst of the assembly, and behold, the plague has begun among the people. And he put on the incense, and made atonement for the people. He stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now those who died by the plague were 14,700, besides those who died about the matter of Korah. Aaron returned to Moses to the door of the tent of meeting, and the plague was stayed. Numbers chapter 17. Aaron's staff buds. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
"Speak to the children of Israel, and take of them rods, one for each father's house, of all their princes, according to their fathers' houses, 12 rods. Write every man's name on his rod. You shall write Aaron's name on the rod of Levi, for there shall be one rod for each head of their fathers' houses. You shall lay them up in the tent of meeting before the testimony, where I meet with you. It shall happen that the rod of the man whom I shall choose shall bud, and I will make to cease from me the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against you."
Moses spoke to the children of Israel, and all their princes gave him rods, for each prince one, according to their fathers' houses, even 12 rods. And the rod of Aaron was among their rods. Moses laid up the rods before Yahweh in the tent of the testimony. It happened on the next day that Moses went into the tent of the testimony, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded, and put forth buds, and produced blossoms, and bore ripe almonds. Moses brought out all the rods from before Yahweh to all the children of Israel, and they looked, and took every man his rod. Yahweh said to Moses,
"Put back the rod of Aaron before the testimony, to be kept for a token against the children of rebellion, that you may make an end of their murmurings against me, that they not die."
Moses did so. As Yahweh commanded him, so he did. The children of Israel spoke to Moses, saying, "Behold, we perish. We are undone. We are all undone. Everyone who comes near to the tabernacle of Yahweh, dies. Will we all perish?"